All right, guys. So I've done a story about this young man, Jewell Jones, who is a state representative in the state of Michigan, right? The state that's being run by Gretchen Whitmer, or should I say Big Gretch, right? Because that's the nickname that Mr. Jewell Jones has given her. Big Gretch is what they call her, right? And I don't know. And before in the past, Mr. Jewell Jones has suggested that Big Gretch can save him from troubles, as he's been facing a lot of troubles, right? He was caught drunk driving where, he allegedly resisted arrest. There's videos of him in jail, basically refusing to take pictures, causing trouble with police officers. I mean, this guy has all types of issues, right? He has all kinds of issues. And it seems like things are getting worse because now information has come to the light that reveals that he spent campaign funds at a local strip club. Take a look.
Expensive dinners are often a normal part of doing business, but some recent spending of campaign funds by State Rep Jewell Jones raising a few eyebrows. In a required filing, Jones openly discloses he spent hundreds at a local strip club and in Las Vegas. As Priya Mann reports, State Rep says that's part of the job.
State Rep Jewell Jones is back in the spotlight, this time for spending campaign funds at this strip club in Dearborn. The tab at the Pantheon Club on March 8th was for $221.42. The quarterly campaign expenditure statement lists the purpose as a constituent meeting to discuss potential economic projects in Inkster. On Facebook, the Pantheon Club describes itself as an adult entertainment service. 2 weeks later, Jones spent $696 at a restaurant and wine bar in Vegas. The purpose was listed as a dinner meeting with other legislators. Via text, State Rep Jones tells Local 4 there's no need to explain the transactions. I noticeably picked up the tab at these meetings, got to meet the people where they're at. We spoke with the Michigan Campaign Finance Network, which describes itself as a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization.
It's certainly not anything that I've seen before.
However, the executive director says it's not uncommon for lawmakers to use campaign funds to buy dinners within the capacity of their official duties.
In this case, it was a venue that is certainly, I guess, less savory than what you might see on average in a campaign finance report.
But nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it under the law if it is indeed for an office-related expense. That said, of course, it's often up to the voters of his district to decide as well whether they believe that.
In April, the lawmaker was arrested for drunk driving after crashing his car. Jones is accused of struggling with troopers, allegedly saying he'd called the governor and had oversight of the MSP budget. And last week, the embattled state rep was back in court for violating his bond. Yeah, and that bond violation was in regards to the tether that monitors alcohol consumption. It had been turned off due to a lack of payment. The judge warning Jones that if he violated his bond again, he would end up in jail. Reporting live tonight, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Yeah. All right, Priya.
All right, guys. I'm gonna tell you, this guy right here, this young guy right here, I think that I'm not calling for him to step down. But I think that he's going through some issues that makes him probably not in the best headspace to be in his position, right? I'm not calling him step down. I'm just saying. I mean, it don't seem to me like he's in a good headspace because he's just not making good decisions. I mean, what do you guys think that he spent money on at the strip club, right? You think that he bought the wings, right? He bought the breakfast bar. He got the breakfast buffet. This guy said it was a meeting to discuss an economic project for the local community. I mean, who are you meeting with at the strip club to do that? Huh? Are you talking about a hiring strippers program, right? Getting these girls out of that life? Is that what you're talking about? Are you trying to make a bring your booty to the pole ad, okay, for re-election? Are you trying to have a job fair at the strip club, right? I mean, somebody tell me, because I'm trying to figure out what reason would you need to have a meeting, a meeting about economic projects at a strip club? What would compel you to do that, right? Why does that need to be the venue? And why would you put yourself in a situation where you would use campaign dollars at a strip club and then think that nobody would say anything about it? Why would you do that, right? Even if it was legit. Because, I mean, it looks like he spent $221, right? So most of the time you go to strip club, again, I'm not, particularly experienced at this, but this is what I believe happens. You're going to exchange cash for ones, okay? So when you're exchanging cash, most time you are exchanging 20s, right? Whole numbers. So the fact that he spent $221 suggests to me that he probably wasn't spending it trying to make it rain on the talent, right? He may have been buying people beers. He may have been buying people dinner. He could have been buying things in other ways. That probably accounts for that money that he spent. And I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But again, why would you even put yourself in that situation? You already got a DUI after you crashed your vehicle. You was accused of resisting arrest. Okay. You have issues staying compliant on probation. And now this is happening. And let's not forget to mention that he spent about like $600-700 at a dinner, right? At a wine bar in Vegas, like 2 weeks later. $600-700 say he was meeting with other legislators. So hear me out, guys. If this little small state legislator, right, who's basically a nobody on a national stage, if he's spending money on extravagant lifestyle, campaign funds on extravagant lifestyle, what do y'all think that these national politicians are doing with their campaign funds? Right? That's the thing. I can get on this guy for being dumb enough to get caught, but I'm not naive enough to believe that politicians, right, probably on both sides of the aisle, are doing this exact same thing with their campaign funds. I guarantee you. They're just not stupid enough to get caught. But they're spending their money on extravagant dinners, living luxury lifestyles, probably making it rain on the talent in the strip club too, right? Doing all that stuff. I can imagine. This series of events suggests to me that this guy has an issue. He has a maturity issue. He's too young to be in the office that he's in. He's on a power trip. He really is. And this is a good argument to support age minimums, right? I really don't believe that people in their early 20s should be able to hold public office. I really don't. I think that the age limit has to be in your, at the very least, mid to late 20s. I think this guy is like 24, 25, right? He could be 26. But regardless, he was elected, right? I think the city council when he was like 20. So, he's kind of been in positions of power his whole adult life. And I think you're starting to see the manifestation of being so young with so much kind of influence and power. I think you're starting to see the negative ramifications of that. I really do. I think that's what's happening. And I think in a situation like this, I think that he needs to be humble, and I think that he needs to seek help, right? He needs to seek help because he's a good kid, right? He grew up in the church. I think he was in the military. He goes to college, right, for a university. He's not an idiot. He's not dumb, right? He's not gangbanging. He's not committing violent crimes. He's just making dumb decisions. Just dumb stuff. And I really hate to see it. But, you got to speak out about this stuff. And you can't excuse this type of behavior. You can't. Somebody needs to pull this guy aside and say, listen, you might want to take a break from politics. Get your life together, finish school, maybe go get a regular job, right? And then in the future, once, you're mature, then you can come back to politics. But right now, you're just not mature enough to be in politics. You're not making good decisions. You should have at least got the cash before you went to the strip club, buddy. Should have withdrew the cash from the ATM, then went to the strip club, right? Oh, man. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.